Hi, guys, and welcome everybody. Today we have Wednesday, September 4th. And I always say, my gosh, we are soon coming to the end of this year, right? It's September already, beginning. So here it's considered autumn. And I guess in Australia, maybe you are coming into springtime, hopefully, right? So
Uh, Here in
maybe,
Queensland, we only have two seasons. It's either hot or hot and wet. So,
okay. And in Arizona, you have two seasons, probably, maybe, or three or
Well,
something.
actually, three. We have extremely hot, we have hot, and we have warm. You
Okay.
know,
Here in Sweden, we are fortunate then. We have four seasons, right? So we
yes.
have, soon we're going to see all the leaves changing color for autumn. But
Wow.
it is beautiful, but I could skip the winter time. Anyway,
Yes. Yes.
so everybody, we are live 3 hours later today, and I think we have a little bit of a trouble here on Facebook going live, but that's okay. We'll fix that afterwards. You are watching Cosmic Guardians with hosts Anne and Corinne, plus special guest Bob Eden, all the way from Queensland, Australia. And today we are going to talk about unveiling wellness, the mystical journey of true healing. That is a really intriguing topic.
Hmm.
We all have our stuff to deal with, so it is really something accurate as well, right? And our last show on August 28th, we did talk about meditation. It's interesting. You never know what will happen when you meditate. That was with special guest Adelina from Sweden. You can find, connect, and read more about Adelina at angelplaceonearth.com/Adelina. You can find us, and we usually go live at facebook.com/Cosmic Guardians and youtube.com/at Angel Place on Earth. And you can also find all of us at angelplaceonearth.com/Cosmic Guardians. So you can find Bob there. You can find Corinne. Corinne, of course, has her own stuff as well, right? But it's going to be an exciting, wonderful, great show today. So let's begin. Welcome, guys.
Yes.
great.
Gonna be a great show today, Bob.
I hope so. I
So,
need some entertaining.
oh, that's great. So, who wants to kick off about healing? Bob?
Yeah, I saw that hand going. That's great.
Yeah, I was just looking at the topic unveiling well-being. We talked about this the other day. Yeah. And and for me, coming from the two principles, like, you know, we're all sovereign, unique, and equal, and keep it simple, sovereign. I'm just trying to define for me what well-being is, and for me, it's like it's a state of being. It's a state of being well, but how does one know if you're well? And I think that pure state of well-being is achieved when you are living your life in alignment with creation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect total well-being. Being well is when one is just in tune with your heart, because I believe that in the center of everybody there's this magical place where the moral compass lies, but also, that inner sense of knowing what's right and what's wrong. And also there's I don't know whether it's in the DNA, but it's that sort of thing. All that I need to know about how to heal and 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 ascend to well-being is in that space, and I just need to go within and strengthen the connection. And I reckon I'm
Yeah.
doing a pretty good job. You know, one or two issues, but my life experience of my life just gets better every day. So I can't be growing older. I'm growing happier.
Yeah, and I think you touched something very, very important there, because everything is about us being in alignment with the divine, with our connection, with ourselves, being in that oneness, right? So when we are, I think we took on a great challenge when we decided to come here, because that part exactly is what's challenging us, and that is what's
Yeah,
keeping us off the path, giving us a few things we need to put our teeth into to fix, like heal, right?
well, if
And
I'd have known it was going to be this difficult, I'd have said no. Send me somewhere else. Send me to send me to Aldebaran or somewhere.
yeah, read the fine print on the contract, um, and that's true.
Yeah.
Um, what I would like to add is all of these opportunities give us the chance to find our equilibrium, to find our balance, and
Yes.
our balance is not somebody else's balance. And finding the trueness of ourself is such an intimate journey, and it gives us so many different opportunities that can't be compared with anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like when I was down in the depths of that depression and suddenly realised that everything that I'd been told was a lie. That's when I made my life purpose to be, to simply find my own truth, and I started questioning everything and everything. And actually, I've probably been doing that for most of my life, but I was horrified to find that all my sacred cows weren't. Everything I'd built my life values on was absolute lies. The truth was 180 degrees away from it. But
Yeah.
it was a really beautiful journey, and it still is, because I still question everything. And if it resonates with my heart, then I fold it into my truth. And so, you know, my bag of truth is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So it's been
Unfortunately, the people that gave us those truths and those beliefs, that's all they knew. And
yeah,
and that's where we come in, and it's time uh, to find your own truths and find them within ourselves. And that's what this whole journey is about. Is
yeah, yeah. And for me, it's really simple. You know, what's coming down on us has been coming down from generation to generation to generation to generation, and it's programming. It's not natural human loving behavior. It's just programming. And what I love about my own journey from the work I've done, I actually broke the multi-generational cycle of abuse. And if I can do it, anybody can. But and I
yes,
think that's what's happening now. But you know, so many people say, "Oh, well, I can't tell my parents how I felt as a kid because it'll upset them." But if you can't speak your truth, then what value are you? You know.
that's true.
Sorry, that's
Yeah.
a bit harsh, but yeah, every somewhere within, when the push comes to shove, there's got to be a time to say, "No, I've had enough." And you can express it politely. You don't have to be rude, but
That's
no,
right.
this is my truth, and you can do with it what you like. But I cannot swallow it anymore to walk on eggshells around you in case you get upset by it.
That is really true.
Yeah,
Really
I
Yeah.
don't do eggshells.
No. And a lot of times when we come off as genuine, we meet a little bit of judgment, right? Because
Oh,
otherwise we are
lots of
go
judgment.
yeah, going against the stream. We are not doing what's expected. We behave in a different way. We can be too rude, too kind, too everything, right? So
Exactly.
it's kind of interesting, but
I'm too beautiful.
of course you are. But it's interesting. But when we come into that space for ourselves, that also allows us to have more acceptance for others. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we necessarily very easily fit into how the world functions, because no. We don't really,
Yeah, well,
right?
for most of my life, I've been chastised for being too sensitive, and and I can cry at the drop of a hat, and I don't care where I am, and it's either tears of grief or tears of joy, and both of those activities are very healing. Like for me, crying tears cleanses my soul in some way, and again, that just comes back to my basic belief that all healing is done through feeling.
And that's true. And the cleansing of the soul was very true what you said, because the chemistry in tears for joy and tears for sadness and tears for fear and other tears, the chemicals are different. And what they are doing is actually releasing those chemicals from our body. So tears, when they say they're very healing, they are very healing. And
Yeah, they are.
and as you were accused of being too sensitive, I I was climbing trees and building things and going gung ho. And if I had been born in this day and age, they would have said, "You're a boy," and I'm not. I'm very much a woman. I love it, but the thing is that I didn't conform, and
Mm, yeah.
I found out that I'm a divergent. I'm I like many different things, and that makes people a little leery of you because you don't conform, you don't think their way and do their thing. So, but your personal healing, and especially when you're going through a real physical healing, you've got to be you. You've got to
Yeah,
be you.
Mm.
yeah.
Well, the
You
good
got
thing
to be.
the good thing about this all comes down to, like, we're now well into the age of integrity, as the Mayans predicted, and human nature has followed suit. It cannot do otherwise because it's part of consciousness.
Yeah.
Um, and so, personal integrity, if you with personal integrity, you've got to be true to yourself, otherwise, you don't have personal integrity. And what is personal integrity? And for me, it's my word is my bond.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say, "Hey, ladies, let's meet at the cafe tomorrow at 10 o'clock," and you go, "Yeah, yeah, right, I'll see you there." Now I'll be there, or I'm dead,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if something transpires to change it, I'll call you, as soon as I know. But yeah, for me, that's it. My word is my bond, and that's why I hate people when I don't hate people. I don't like their behaviour when they turn up a quarter of an hour late or 20 minutes late, because for me, all I have is my time and my story. And
Yes.
a minute of my time is worth a minute of your time. So for me, it's, if we've made a date, it's a contract, so don't break the contract. Sorry.
No, that's true. That's true. And it's the same with the contracts that we make with ourselves. Um,
Yeah,
I am going to change my mind about this. It may take me a little while, and I may, uh, slide off the track every once in a while. But I love myself enough to honor the contract that I made with myself, and I'm going to accomplish this change in my life because this is who I am, and this is my integrity with myself. And being integritous with yourself is the key to being have integrity with other people. So it's
yeah,
vital. It really is vital.
yeah. I think actually for me, it it is all about also, being frank, being straightforward, being able to say things because you can say everything. And people in general, I'm generalizing very much, we complicate things for ourselves and
Mhm.
sometimes each other so much because we don't want to express things, we can't say things, we tend to play on to certain things, right? It becomes something really it doesn't have to be. And I don't really like drama. So I'm not going to jump in with both of my feet in drama. I'm going to stop it right there.
Uh,
If I
the,
can feel it, smell
yeah,
it.
It's the game of illusion, and
Yeah.
I am not an illusionist. I'm a, as you say, what you see is what you get. and, and,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah, well, the good thing about any conflict, a lot of people shy away from conflict, but conflict can be really healing. And so, like, if I meet somebody and they're behaving in a way that disturbs me, I just say, hey, when you do that, I feel like this. If you're going to keep on doing that, I'll go. Something along those lines. So I'm asking for what I want and not telling them what to do. And it's a
that's
major
the key.
difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that's a
And,
good thing.
and I do that in all sorts of situations. Like, sorry, if you're going to behave like that, I'm going to go. Or
Yeah.
yeah, when you do that, I really feel angry, and that's okay. But just realize that every time you do that, I feel angry, and you don't have to change, but just be aware.
Yeah.
Be
And that's a good
aware.
thing. Be aware. Yeah.
Yes, you don't want to miss.
Be aware.
It,
Be aware.
it's a good thing, except for those occasions when you are with people who they just want to drag you into something, right? And they do whatever they can.
Well,
So that's when you just say, "We've been there. I'm not going to listen. Arrivederci.
that's when
Bye
you get
bye."
your crutches or your wheelchair or your mode of transportation and just leave.
Yes.
And yeah, but
It's funny, isn't it? I can't even consider the concept of argument now.
no,
Argument was old school, because if you go back to the Sioux principle, we're all sovereign, unique, and equal.
equal. Yeah.
Well, it's if we're all equal but we're all unique, so every unique being will have their own truth. So there is no argument. There's only difference. So viva la difference.
Oh
Celebrate,
yes. Oh yes. Yes.
celebrate the difference. Not beat the other person over the head because your reality is different. Isn't it a real reality? Nope.
No.
That is true. That is really true. Yes.
God.
I think that's probably when Bob is going to turn around and say, "I'm walking away now. I had it." Right?
No, I'm just amazed now that I'm laughing at 6:20 in the morning.
Well, we appreciate you being extending your upness time to a little bit longer because
Well, for me, these discussions we have, which I look forward to, mainly for selfish reasons, because by the end of it, my energy is lifted. So it's something I've noticed, and if it was a drain on my energy, I wouldn't be here. So it's beneficial for my own vibration, my own energetic level, to have these discussions with you guys.
Anna, I think we were
Equally.
complimented.
Yeah. And I think that goes for, I can say the same because
That's
it
right.
is uplifting. And I think that sometimes maybe we talk about things we have heard so many times before, right? But there's no limit to it. And it's also very, very personal. And seeing three people here talking about themselves, showing things, because it's not that easy as it sounds always. It's very easy to say, I can see this and this and this and this and that. And I'm living in this world and I try to develop, but it's a journey. And talking about it is extremely uplifting, to be
Yes.
honest.
Yes.
Well, I think that the key words here are integrity, authenticity, and without that, we wouldn't be talking.
That's
No,
true.
we would.
No, I don't talk about the neighbour's got a new lawnmower and I've got to do this, and the cat's got piles and blah blah. Football's on tonight, I like real conversations with real people that have got the balls to speak their truth.
Yeah.
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 What did you say those three were again? Integrity and authenticity, and what was the third?
Can't remember. You have to watch the replay.
Good for you, Bob.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that good for you. You know, I just didn't have my pen in time. Yes, but that's
Sorry.
true. No, seriously. When we're talking together, we're I feel that we are having a telecommunication that is beyond ourselves, and we are conversing in a higher dimension and a higher vibration, and therefore we do have to watch what we said afterwards, because this is being given to us at the appropriate time. And yeah, well, I that's true, Bob.
Yeah, and one could label it as some kind of channeling as well, because it's when you get it, you are in the flow. You just pop it out, you say it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
That's it.
we all are telekinetic, so we, you know, we're receiving this information from a higher place, which is so much fun, because uh, you just never know what's going to happen on here. I love it.
Well, here's a little story, and it's hot off the press. And it's funny you should mention with the telekinetic and energies and stuff. I was sort of listening to some meditative music, healing music, and looking down the side, and there was something about this frequency will open your pineal, uh,
Ah,
uh,
yes.
blah 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 blah. Anyway, so I was listening to that, and then instinctively I just closed my eyelids, and then there's a red glow appears that goes sort of deep purple. But in the middle of that, once I looked for long enough, there was like a black jagged hole appeared. It's like a break in the clouds. It's happening now. And I'm looking at a billion stars, and there are thousands of them rushing by me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I open my eyes and it's gone. So
Yep.
I've been exploring that over the last 2 or 3 hours. Wow, it reminds me of a space game that came out on the first computers called Elite, because the graphics were so bad. It's that sort of image, with all these
Mm-hmm.
millions of dots going by. But I was amazed. So I found a new talent.
It's moving through the dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it would appear. Beam me up, Scotty.
that's true. That's true. You know,
Mm.
but yeah, it's amazing. But it's our journeys are so incredible, and I love the way you say mystical journey here, um, because it's not really mystical. It's something that is very, very real. It's just that we have allowed our our true being to now come to the surface, and and be able to move beyond all of that programming that we had, and all of the shoulds and shouldn'ts. And as we do that, we're becoming uh, what Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden call the superhuman. We're
Yeah.
moving into what we came here to be, and
Yes.
we have to stay true to that, because there
And
are
I'm not
many,
going to stop there.
no, absolutely.
To the infinity and beyond.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Captain. You know?
I watch too many movies, don't I love kids' cartoons.
Oh yeah. Yes. But the mind has such an influence over what we do, and literally getting out of the thinking mind and into that pineal area, and opening that energy source. um, I had the wonderful experience of working with one of my dear friends, and we did 9 consecutive days of Reiki. And I was drawn to be specifically around her the head area and the pineal, the pineal gland. I say that wrong all the time. And it is amazing the clarity and what came after doing 9 straight days like that. So yes, you can change your mind, and the mind, when you get into the mind that is the mind and not the busy stuff we call the mind.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
my what works for me when I talk about the mind, for me, my mind is just a tool that I use when I choose, for I'm so much more than my
Yep.
mind.
Yes.
And for me, thinking is the weapon of mass distraction.
That's true.
So I I just feel that I live in a feeling universe. It's much easier and simpler here than
It
living
really
in a
is.
thinking universe. But that statement of realizing that my mind is just a tool and I'm a mechanic, a spiritual mechanic, so I need to look after that tool, and so
Yeah.
I do. I treat it like I treat my puppy dog. Mind, you need some exercise. Go and find out about this, and
Yeah.
it does, and that's it. And it's gone off and away, and I'm back here, da 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 da, singing in the rain.
I love it when people tell me I'm out of my mind, because that
Good.
means that I am in my creative space when I'm out of the mind.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. I think my take on it is that we are born here with all our senses, so we need all of them. But this world has programmed us to use our mind, claiming that that is what we need, sorry,
Mhm.
to have to
Or
navigate this
yeah,
world, right? But we need to find the balance in them.
or taking ownership for that. We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
allowed them to program
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We have allowed them to do that, but no more, right?
Uh-uh.
No,
Uh-uh.
No. Uh-uh.
that's all you got to say, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. And we need from time to time to use a little bit of logic as well, but we are usually overusing it, right? So we things we can't touch, smell, or have a clue that it is only with our senses. That's not considered in our world to be something solid and real, right? So
Yeah,
therefore, maybe the term mystical, but it's not really mystical, is it?
but
It's
what I'm
natural.
excited, yeah, what I'm excited about is I already have developed a sixth sense, and I call it my noticing. I have this sixth sense that I call
That's a
my
good one.
noticing, and it's like I've got a drone that flies above my head, a little bit behind, and I can send it up and down to get a higher perspective. And so I'm participating in my life, but I'm also the observer of me in my life. And
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, when I review the security cameras, I can see if my conscious life intention has been at work that day, and my conscious life intention is I am here to have a gentle, joyful, loving, healthy, and abundant life. And so this sense of noticing. But what I'm excited about is the Dogon tribe in Mali, who fled from, I think, the Band of Peace in Egypt, thousands of years ago. Or their tribal law states that, oh no, it wasn't the Dogon tribe. It was Hakim Al-Yam, an Egyptian who's also an Egyptologist. And he was born in the Band of the Peace, and he used to go swimming in the the little rivulets and stuff, all under the pyramids. And he said he's the law keeper at that time for the Sufi tribe. And he said, according to our law, LORE, we as humans are supposed to have 265 or 365 senses. We've just forgotten them. And I just clicked the other day, oh, what's the other 90% of our DNA for?
Mm-hmm.
If it's not the key to this whole big bag of new senses we're going to get access to. That's what excites me. I want to get that bag. Oh, that was weird.
Exploring who we truly are, and I think as light workers, what we're doing, we're holding the energy so other people can start exploring the trueness of themselves. And as we are dealing with such a society that wants to go artificial intelligence, they're terrified that we are going to become the true human that we are supposed to be, with all our capacities and all of these senses. And that's why they're pushing this, telling us that we aren't good enough and we need all of this artificial help. And to remain human so we can evolve into the greatness that we are. This is amazing. This is really amazing.
Well, this artificial intelligence or superficial intelligence, for me, it's over and done. It's done and dusted, simply because artificial intelligence is incapable of original thought.
Exactly.
And so without original thoughts and creativity, there is no growth, there is no advancement. So this AI thing is just a storm in a teacup.
That's great. That's great. But we are so endless in our possibilities, and right now all the endlessness in my brain just went somewhere else. So I'm going to just shut it up for a minute and listen while I find my endlessness.
And I heard someone say, I think it is Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters. I like listening to him sometimes. He's on YouTube. And he says something in the lines of, when you go out in nature and you have a connection, that is way better than Wi-Fi, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you have a direct connection. That is what we are capable of as human beings.
Yes. And when you start realizing that all the things that we did not think were sentinel beings, like mushrooms, they are now studying that they have feelings and they have awareness, and we think that because we can do this with our fingers that we are superior. And when you really join in all the things around us that are using some of the senses that we have given away, where we're going is amazing. And Bob, you've got the tenacity to just kind of get in there and hit the nail, on the head and get the job done. This is good.
Yeah, Bobby Blunt. But it reminds me, when I think of connections, and that's what's happening here, and that's what's happening globally through the birth of global consciousness or the internet. That movie Avatar, when they're down there.
Oh my gosh, my movie.
Yeah. But every plant on the planet is just about connected to every other plant.
It really is. Yes.
It's amazing, the connection. And yet it's hard for the human species to realize that they have the same connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
by tapping into nature. Look at this is like going from the www dot to the 6 million wwws. Next mega
Mega
internet.
connection. Oh yeah.
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 There's an interesting thought, isn't there? I'm gonna stick my head in the bowl of a tree and see if I can connect to Gaia.
Yeah, because many times we forget that we benefit from grounding ourselves here. Being out in nature, that's one way of grounding. Moving around outside barefoot, right? Or hugging a tree. When we can't do that, kind of working on visualizing that we are bringing down our roots into the earth, because
Mhm.
we forget sometimes that because we chose to come here, our healing is also dependent on our connection, right?
Yeah.
With the earth itself.
Yeah. Well, there was a conscious decision by the programmers to try any means possible to isolate our physical and energetic beings from the planet.
Hmm.
Rubber-soled shoes,
Yep.
sunblock. You can go on for hours and hours in the ways that people have been programmed to disconnect from nature. Stay indoors, don't go
Yeah.
out in the rain. Oh, the sun's bad for you. God,
Yeah.
again, it's 180%, 180 degrees off the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you go way off subject here, but they have proven now that when the birds start chirping in the morning, it's almost a signal for everything to start coming awake. Energetically, they're proving this, that without them, then this doesn't happen. And every time they put up another Wi-Fi tower and everything else, it screws up the birds, and the birds have to change directions, and it screws us up. And we are so really completely connected to nature, even how we're structured. It was showing a thing today where the nerves in the human body look like lightning bolts, and as the eyes are the nebulas, and it's amazing if you really start to think. Even our food represents parts of the body that's good for. Walnuts are good for the brain. Looks like a brain. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, it
what
does.
more? How much more do we need? Well, how many more signs do we need? And
So I'll keep eating sausages then.
that's true. That's true.
That's my mouth.
That's true. Yes.
Hey, you're talking about radiation. That's my anti-EMF sticker that I got off Hope Girl a few years ago. So I'm onto it.
Yeah.
I've just ordered. I don't own a pair of shoes, but I've just ordered to back that up. I've ordered a grounding sheet for my bed to try and
Hey, that really
ground.
works.
Yeah, I hope so.
That really works. I have the
So
grounding
do
pad.
coffee enemas apparently, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you're gonna laugh, haven't you? I think the other day I'd lost my sense of humor, and it was the darkest day that in my living memory. It was.
I can't imagine.
I felt
I can't
suicidal.
imagine you losing your humor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep on.
it was.
Keep
It
on.
was. I felt suicidal. I think, God, and
Oh.
then I I just instinctively went to Blog Talk Radio and News for the Soul, and got onto the show. And the lady there, Laura O'Malley, she was channeling, and she just gave she said the majestic beings, whoever they were. I could play you the audio, but you know they're just saying. I asked them for guidance, and they said, guidance. You don't need guidance. You are doing absolutely fabulous. your work is revolutionary. We applaud you, and it was such an uplifting channeling
Uh-huh.
that, yeah, and it was just what I needed to hear at that time.
That's true.
And so this is another reinforcement for me that I totally trust in my own process.
Yeah.
Because that was just part of my own process.
Yeah.
I was blown away by it, but I really needed to hear that all
Yeah.
the effort
And
and pain
I
stuff.
think that many times we do way better than we think ourselves, right? So you needed to hear that, right?
Mm.
We do way better.
Well, it was just
But
losing it. Yeah, it was just losing my sense of humor. It's like, God, if I can't laugh, what's the point? It's like a dolphin. It's
That's
like
right.
it's like a dolphin that can't giggle. No, no. We're here to giggle. We're here to laugh. We're here to be blissful and joyful. We're here to be sad too. But
yeah,
experience everything as fully as you can.
yeah.
Oh, I might just dip my toe in. Bugger that. Jump in. Get your gear off and jump in.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, anyone has kind of something to say about this mystical journey? Could we call it a mystical journey, or should we take the mystical part out of it? Right?
well, I like mystical.
Mystical, yeah, it kind of takes it above the other journeys that we take, but we know that the journey of truth is the journey of truth, and people that are seeing us take the journey of truth, to them it looks mystical.
Well, I
But
get a nice image from the word
yes,
mystical. It's
yeah.
a picture I get is a lady that comes along and prods you in the ribs. Miss Tickle.
Mystical. Okay. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm glad your humor found you.
Yeah, it was
That was a
mystical.
good one.
It was a mystical moment.
Yes. Well, I find that because we have the gift of humor, we don't take ourselves seriously. And when we take ourselves seriously, that's when we get bogged down, because everything is here to evoke a feeling, as you say, and our feelings are going to give us guidance to go this way or that way. So, yeah, yeah. So I like Miss Tickle. She's good. I'll have to remember that. That was.
Yeah, she can stay.
That
But
was a good one.
see what I mean? AI couldn't do that. AI couldn't come up with
Oh,
something.
no way,
No,
no
no, no,
way.
no, 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 no.
Up you, AI. That's the I.
Yes.
My
Oh
computer
yeah.
probably crashed now.
But
Yes.
Oh,
it's I think every time we use the courage to step outside of what is considered or expected of us, doesn't mean that we have an attitude of being cocky or rude or anything, right? But we are trying to be as genuine as we can, and we
Exactly.
follow the path, and we don't really answer expectations, and that's where things can get a little bit filled with tension sometimes.
well,
Yeah.
Because
I'm not here to meet your expectations. I'm here to meet
no,
mine.
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, and I love this one. I love this one, and it upsets so many people. I love using it because that's the wicked side of me. Like somebody's, yeah, when somebody's giving me advice, it's naughty, but it comes out automatically now. Look, mate, when I need your advice, I'll give it to you.
That's true. And that's really true. And one of the things that I've gotten in a habit of saying is, it's really none of your business. So I have enough to do with taking care of myself, and what somebody else is doing with their life is really none of my business.
Yeah,
And also what they think of me is none of my business, because that's their opinion. And
Yes.
it's served me well, because I don't have to go live in somebody else's drama and trauma and catastrophes, because I want to create my own.
Yes,
Yeah.
and exactly. And I want to chime in here and say this is something that's very common among people, right? Because something happens and everybody says, what are people going to say? But exactly as you said, Corinne, right?
Yeah,
What anyone thinks of me, that's yeah, they have the right to think whatever they want to.
that's
It's
true.
it's their right, but it doesn't mean that that's the truth that who I really am,
And
right?
and I'm
Well,
too
that's why.
stubborn to take their opinion of me, because
Yeah. Well, all opinions are worthless anyway. But that's
yeah,
why,
Yeah,
as a sensitive or an empath, there's, I'm really good at setting boundaries, and for me, my boundaries are the golden frame around the masterpiece that is me.
hmm,
yeah, well
ah,
said.
So
that's a beautiful way to put it.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm really good at setting boundaries. I'm just saying,
yeah.
no, sorry, because without boundaries, how can anybody know where they end and the other person begins?
Yeah,
Perfect. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, and that's why you get all these codependent relationships, because they're all enmeshed. You know,
yeah,
Yep.
they don't
yeah,
know. And they approach this person with their own holes in the soul, expecting the other person to fill those holes in the soul. It's the only person that can fill the holes in my soul is me, and I'm glad I
yeah,
said that right.
Yeah. I think of a relationship as if there's an island that grows pineapples, the best pineapples in the world, and another island grows the best coconuts in the world. The water between them makes a perfect pina colada. But the coconuts are not going to be pineapples, and the pineapples aren't going to be cocoa whatever. In other words, we don't have to merge. We bring these two incredible entities together, and
Yeah,
it's the energy between them that is the relationship. It's not you have to change so I can be more like you, because I've really gotten I kind of like me.
yeah. For me, it's a simple process of moving from a codependent relationship to an interdependent relationship.
Interdependence. That's the
yeah,
whole key right there, is
Yeah, where both
interdependence.
where both people are honoured equally.
yeah,
And
Uh-huh.
yeah.
it's your job to deal with your shit, and it's my job to deal with my shit. If you want to hang with your shit, just let me know. But you know, yeah,
You know, and I'll
But
sit
I
there and
think
applaud you
yeah,
on.
yeah, because I work with the phone also, and I take a lot of calls and hear what people say, and it's very, very. I think you know this already. It's very, very common that you are searching for something. Someone is going to come. If it's a woman asking, there's an a wish that a prince on a white horse is going to come as a savior, right? And change everything, fill up all the holes within. If it's a male, the opposite, but a princess or a queen coming, right? But
Yeah,
that never happens. It never happens. And we keep attracting and finding something that we already have experience of and know until we release this part, come from our heart and start to accept ourselves because it starts here always.
yeah.
yeah.
It's
But
not
but
ever going to come from the outside.
but as a knight myself, I don't have a beautiful roan horse, but I do have a greasy old motorbike. If you know,
Yeah, one of the things that I said to my kids when they were getting to the age of maturity, I said, before you go find someone to share your life with, you need to find out who you are.
Yeah,
Go into the relationship knowing who you are, and then you'll have someone that you can, go down the journey with. But if these people think that, oh, I have a broken wing, I need to find someone else with a broken wing because they understand me, and you put them together, you have two people trying to fly with just two wings. I'd rather come into a relationship where everybody is completely whole, and then we can create a whole different relationship. And I think that's the same when we do our healing. Um, we get information that's going to help us, but when someone tells me that the doctor just told them that they are incurable, I said, "Oh, that's wonderful." And they look at you like, "What?" And I said, "They gave you permission to go inside where the cure is. Incurable."
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing, Bob. You're doing your own, you're taking all the information that you have from a lot of different sources, and you are using it to cure yourself from the inside out rather than from the outside in. And this
And
is,
you just made a beautiful segue
yeah,
into our next discussion, and I've chosen the topic, the power of words.
yeah,
Yes.
So that's being
Yeah.
a nice one to look forward to.
yeah,
Yeah. Because it is really important, and that is not going to come from the outside. And and on one level, you could say that we should be genuine and authentic, and as a doctor, maybe tell, but who can really say what's the truth? And if you're telling someone you have something, we can't cure that. It's like putting a sentence on them,
yeah.
right? And I feel that is very, very heavy and hard, because in essence, when we are connected with ourselves, we can create miracles.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll turn that around and throw it back at the Sue principle.
Yeah.
That it's not the doctor's responsibility to heal me; it is my responsibility.
That's absolutely
Yes.
true.
Yeah,
Yes.
All
that's
you're
it.
paying them for is for their knowledge that you can learn from. That's
Yeah, if
true.
it's relevant, But what I
Yes,
found with the Western medical system is, like, I've got an oncologist, I've got a bum doctor, a dick doctor, a heart doctor, a gallbladder doctor, a toenail doctor, and they've all got these different diagnoses.
exactly.
And the only person that's I've got a holistic view of the whole of me is me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's funny, I'm
And
seeing my GP in
yeah.
about 2 hours time, and he's going to get a
Oh,
surprise.
it's going to be fine. But
Oh
because of
yeah.
because of my recent experience also, you need actually to listen to what they are saying. I broke my leg. If you all guys didn't remember that, but I'm healing fine. It's going to be nice. But you need also to be there, because they are trying to do things that doesn't even make sense.
No, well, hang
Um,
on. To set the
yeah,
scene, when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and decided to go the natural route, I went to find a GP that said, I am going to employ you to establish a baseline of tests of the condition of me now having been diagnosed with very aggressive prostate cancer. So I'm employing him to provide that service and that information.
Yep.
And so
yes,
month by month by month, we're getting comparative results. And he says, "Oh, your PSA has gone up." And I say, "Oh yeah, big deal." Because all my blood results, and there's bloody hundreds of them, um, they all,
Yeah.
they're all, everything's great. Everything's great. So to split the difference or show the difference is, okay, he's giving me his results with his modality, his measuring instruments, and that's how he's measuring the progress. Now, how am I measuring my progress on my treatment protocol? And I just put it down to quality of life. Like 3 months ago, I was almost in constant pain, and I could barely move because I got arthritis in the spine and all this sort of stuff. And now I'm limber. Anne said the other day, I'm glowing. I'm more
yes,
active.
you did.
I'm,
You
I'm
are.
spending more time out, doing stuff. So my quality of life, what I'm doing just says, yeah, I'm successful. You know,
That's right.
it is working, regardless of what my DR or drug retailer will tell me.
I love that. Yeah, drug retailer. Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's the other one, the GP that gives pills.
Yep.
Sorry.
No comment.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, but that's really true, and taking they don't put things together anymore. I'm a puzzle solver, and you have this, and this, and this, and how is it related to that, that, and that? But like you said, you have a specialist for this eyeball and a specialist for this earlobe, and they never put you together as a whole being.
No,
And um,
don't.
yeah, so we have to be our own advocate. You have to,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Well, I've recently found out that um, prostate cancer is not the big demon that I'm facing at the moment. It's fluoride poisoning from all the like pharmaceuticals that I took
Oh, tell me.
for over 20 years, plus the massive overdose of intravenous antibiotics last July.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm working on, and it's really good because it's yeah, it's an identified path to solution. So yeah, I'm just working my way along that path. It's all
And
good.
I could play with fluoride. 40 years ago, when I was in massage school, I did a research paper on fluoride, and fluoride is a byproduct of making aluminum, and they didn't know what to do with it, so they said, well, it appears in nature, let's find a way to sell it. Fluoride is an embalming fluid, and after they started putting fluoride in the water, they found that people were starting to have hardening of the arteries. Really, I think. But fluoride also crystallizes the pineal gland, which is
Oh,
our spiritual being lies in
yeah.
that pineal gland. And the more that they put in the water, it literally has been proven that it um, neutralizes a person's ability to be cognate. And when you neutralize people from being able to be thinkers, they're more docile, they're more easily to be handled. Think about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, fluoride, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. And we are told that we are doing bad things for ourselves, then in essence, maybe we are exposed to worse things many
yep,
times.
yep.
Well, it's funny, Um, simple things are so obvious, like who invented allergies and when did they take off? When did
When
obesity?
Tristan, I can tell you that one.
Hang on, let me finish.
I
Um,
will. I will.
yeah, when did obesity take off? And it's all about the 50s. And what happened in the 50s? The mass distribution of processed foods
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, 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 yeah.
with all the, monosodium glutamates and all the other crap.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's, you know, you just ask the question and the graphs come up and it's bloody obvious, you know. So processed foods, they're not natural, they're full of,
No, no,
yeah.
not.
Yeah. So we
No.
need to get back to nature, and it's that simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring up Dristan, because the pharmaceutical companies created Dristan, but they didn't have anything to use it for. And shortly after that, then everybody started having post nasal drip, because that's what it worked for. you know. So which came first, the egg or the chicken or the egg? So yeah, it's interesting when you. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. I apologize.
That's all right.
No, no.
It's proven. It's proven that vaccines cause epidemics.
Hmm.
Even the Spanish flu was
Yep.
caused by a vaccine. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
Okay,
sell out.
back to Miss Tickle. How are you enjoying your mystical journey? Mystical journey.
Yeah.
I'm going to love Miss Tickle for a long time. She's going to be my friend.
Yeah, it's funny. I just get these little pictures pop in my head. I work on pictures on the inside of my skull. And that one, just when you said mystical, that's what popped up. This cheeky little lady that's just going around poking people.
But maybe mystical is natural and beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only had to put a name on it because we're a little different. So they had to find a category that we fit in, kind of, sort of.
I don't fit in any category. I'm
No,
unique.
I don't either. That's why,
Proper.
you know.
Oh dear. Oh.
And me neither. Hey guys, how do you feel do you feel that we are ready for tonight?
Well,
Yeah,
I
I think
feel
so.
I feel energized and
Yeah,
Yeah.
uplifted.
and I'm just about to go for a nice dip in my little hot tub paddling pool.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I wrap it up then. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
And
No,
thank
hang
you,
on.
Bob. Thank you.
We we're not finished yet. Don't pop out
Don't
yet.
leave. Yeah.
So, you had been you have been watching Cosmic Guardians with hosts Anne and Corinne and with wonderful, unique, special guest Bob Eden, all the way from Australia, right? And we have been talking about unveiling wellness, the mystical journey of true healing, and expanding a little bit here and there, and that's what we usually do. Very uplifting, very interesting.
Wandering.
Yes. Our next live will be on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, with host Anne and Karine, and we will, talk about unraveling spirituality, the quest for inner meaning. So, always like we are building up, continuing, sometimes putting the chain together. Plus your questions, and for anyone who wants free mini readings, you can find Bob at angelplaceonearth.com/Bob Eden. He has a number of different links and stuff, and you find it all over there to connect with him. And we do go live at facebook.com/Cosmic Guardians and youtube.com/@AngelPlaceOnEarth. Today we had a little bit of a trouble with going live on Facebook. The system didn't want to cooperate, but I'm going to make it cooperate once we get out of here. So I'm going to fix that, so it's going to come up there and you can listen and watch the replay, right? I'm stubborn, so I'm not going to leave it like that, am I?
Am I?
So we have been a little bit late live today, but we intend to be live with you every week on Wednesdays, usually at 10 a.m. Pacific time and at 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece. And today, a little bit late to honor our guest from the Gold Coast in Australia, right?
No, the Whitsundays.
Okay.
The Gold Coast is horrible. It's like America. It's all bloody
Okay.
skyscrapers.
Okay.
Where I am, it's all
So,
trees.
yes, it's not a nice place, right? But anyway, you are welcome all the way from Australia. And so thank you for watching Cosmic Guardians and see you next week. And we have some surprises for next month. We're going to reveal that a little bit later. Also, stay tuned with us, right? I say love, light, peace, and joy to you all. And Karine and Bob, what do you say?
Well, I say love, light, peace, and laughter.
Yeah. May
And
you giggle in
Miss
your
Tickle.
may you
Miss
giggle,
Tickle.
yeah. May you giggle in your sleep.
That's true. That's true.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.